Hey Fonnie, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I'm going to show you how I cut two pair of lenses for one frame. And before I begin, let me just say thank you for your service to this country and keeping us all safe. Now I'm going to keep you seeing good, so that's what I do. So you are getting the RayBan 4165, also known as the Justin, in color 601, which is the black rubber, and the 55 eye size. So let's begin. I'm going to take it out of its original packaging. Your Italian leather RayBan case. Let me pull that down so everyone can see. Your RayBan cleaning cloth, which is inside the case. You take your frame out of its packaging, and this is the black rubber Justin. Now RayBan sends it with a little plastic sleeve on the temple to prevent the temples from rubbing together or even possibly scratching during shipping. If they think that's a good idea, well, I'm going to put a second one on there when I ship to you, even though you're in my neighbor state of South Carolina. I'm here in North Carolina. But I'm going to ship those to you, so we'll be twice protected. But the first thing I'm going to do is take out the original lenses that RayBan sends, and I'm going to put your prescription lenses. So I'm going to take your Italian frame and put it into my Italian Santanelli. This is the LE1000, or as I like to say, the Santanelli. But the stylus is popping up and tracing the shape of the left lens, and then it's going to move over and trace the right lens. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you will receive free single vision prescription lenses, clear lenses, or clear fashion non-prescription lenses. If you just want to rock the geek chic look, we can do that for you too. So I'm going to pull up the shape of your lens on the computer. I'm going to put in your pupillary distance of 66. I'm going to put that in there now, and these are our polycarbonate lenses. Where's polycarb? There it is, being cut for a plastic frame. So let's begin. Your right lens reads minus 125 sphere, so I'm going to take your lens out of the protective sleeve. I'm going to put it into my lensometer, put the power, my Marco 101 lensometer, put the power drum of minus 1 1/4. Put your, that's 1 1/4. Put your lens in until I find the optical center, and I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. They're pretty light, you can't see them, but I can. And in between the videos, I'm going to put some more ink in my lensometer. You see that ink? You're about to go to work. Okay, so that is the right lens. Now let's do the left. Minus 1, minus 50 at 10. I'm going to put the axis wheel on 10. Put the power drum on minus 1, put your lens in, rotate it until the sphere power comes in clearly. Find the optical center, check your astigmatism, which I'll explain how all that works in a little bit. And then put 3 more dots on your lenses. 1, 2, and 3, and that is the left lens. Now, this is a block. This is what's going to attach to your lens, which is going to hold it in place while it is cutting. So I need to apply a double-sided sticker to this. Believe it or not, 3M, the same company that make Post-it notes, makes a double-sided adhesive sticker. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that on there, pull the tape away, get everything lined up, and essentially what I'm doing is I'm looking into optical crosshairs. I've got a vertical meridian and a horizontal one, and the reason why I put those 3 dots on there, I want to make sure exactly where those lenses are rotated perfectly. So let's do the same thing for your left lens. Whoa, it's running away. You can't get away from me. Put the double-sided adhesive sticker on there, pull the tape away on this side, get everything lined up, those 3 dots on a straight line, and then the vertical meridian goes right through the optical center. So now you have the anti-glare coating on your lenses, and I'm going to explain the features of those too later on, but for now I'm just going to let you know it's a hydrophobic lens, meaning that if it rains or any moisture gets on there, it beads right off, just like when you wax your car and it rains, it beads right off. The nice thing about that is you never need a wet cleaner again, because whatever liquid you apply is just going to run right off your lenses. So you only need the RayBan cleaning cloth, and then the one that I'm going to send to you. Actually 2 that I'm going to send to you, since you're getting 2 pairs of lenses. But I'm going to put it into the chuck, or as I like to say, the Charles, because I don't know it well enough to call it chuck. But these calipers are going to come down, and it's going to trace the shape of the right side of your frame onto the lens to make sure this lens is large enough to fit into the frame. It's starting on the rear surface, the concave surface closest to your eyelashes. Then it's going to move over and trace the convex side of the lens, which is the front surface. all the while measuring the thickness of the lens to know where to put the bevel so it best fits inside the frame. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. It's that lighter color wheel that's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your polycarbonate material. And this wheel in the center is what's going to, with the channel, is what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the frame. I will have to close the door in a moment, but I just want you to see as your prescription lenses touches down on the cutting wheel. So there were three main lens materials: glass, plastic, and polycarbon. Glass is gone by the way of the dinosaur. No one ever wears it due to the weight and its lack of safety. Plastic is the most common and least expensive. Polycarbonate is an upgrade. It's usually 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. In fact, your lenses are unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays will do to your skin from overexposure, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive. So this is permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Same for your sun lenses that are the polarized gray. So, not only is it all that, it's also an aspheric lens. Aspheric just means that it is flatter. A spherical lens is very round. It gives you that ugly fishbowl cosmetic appearance. These are so flat, it's going to fit inside the frame and it's going to look very, very good. Now, most places online where you buy lenses, they charge you for plastic lenses, and then if you want the thinner polycarbonate safety lenses, they charge you an upgrade fee for that. And then when you want the aspheric lenses, they charge you a third fee for that. Well, this is where I start for free and then go up from there. Everyone else's premium third tier lens, that's where I start. Now, if you notice, your lens is completely flat. Just like a nickel, it could stand up on the counter. Now it's getting the bevel put on there, which is a knife-like edge. I love picking the stuff off when it goes around. If you notice, there is water running in the background, but polycarbonate cuts dry where plastic and high-index lenses cut wet. Now, the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, 2 water jets, one up front here and one in the back, are going to start to spray water, and that's just to clean any optical sawdust, any debris. There we go. Stuff like this that I'm picking off your lens. That stuff. It's called Schwarf, and that's what it's trying to wash off. Bum bum. I just love picking it off when it goes around. That's probably not the smartest thing to be sticking my fingers in there, but hey, workman's comp. Should I get hurt? Yeah, me and Fonnie were emailing each other late at night, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing up late? Don't you have to get up at 5 a.m. and run 20 miles? But with his schedule, he was allowed to be up late that day. I always pictured everyone in the military going to bed so early. I've been watching those movies. I know y'all got to get up early and run when someone starts banging on trash cans, waking you up, yelling, getting all up in your grill. So this is the final shape of your lens. Now, you still have some rough edges that are left over from the cutting cycle, so I'm going to use my hand stone to smooth out those edges. And I can place my finger on it, and my finger gets warm due to the friction, but it's that friction that allows me to literally melt those rough edges. That white powdery substance you see sticking to my thumbnail, that again is the Schwarf. I'm going to use my thumbnail to scrape all of that off of your lens. And I do this so much where I just cut my fingernails today, but usually I have a V-shaped bevel in my thumbnail from scraping that. But once all of that is off of your lens, I collect it very neatly into one pile on the counter, and then I wipe it on the floor. And this is where I love doing that. And this is where I say, kids, I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like that. So if you want to grow up and make a mess, kids, you gotta stay in school. So let's see if your lens fits. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner. Using my thumbs, I press down at the nose. It does not want to go in. So I'm going to take a little bit more off your lens. I'm going to take a 1/4 millimeter, hit the retouch button. Now it's going to bypass the cutting wheel and go straight to the bevel wheel and take a 1/4 millimeter. Now, for those Americans who don't know what a millimeter is, it is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 1/4 of that distance off, going all the way around the circumference of the lens. The golden rule: you can always cut more off of the lens, you can never add it back on. So I start a little bit large and work my way down until I get the size just perfect. As soon as this is done, we will cut your sun lenses, your polarized lenses. The one real quick way to test to make sure they're polarized, when you hold both lenses together and look through them, you should hopefully still see the light in the background. You hear the term polar opposites. When you are 90 degrees apart, the lens goes pitch black and you cannot see through there. That's how you can always test to see if a lens is polarized. Well, let's start with the clear pair, shall we? And while this is cutting, let me go ahead and get the sleeves ready for one of the pairs of lenses. This is going to be for the RayBan 4165 and the 55 eye size. Alright, let us now see. Dry your lens off so it's not slippery. It's always embarrassing if I were to ever drop a lens on live TV, which I'm not going to do. So again, real quick, the safety bevel, real quick, scraping that off your lens. Real quick, wiping it on the floor. Kids, you see that? You know it. That's right, you got to stay in school. So, tuck it in at the outside corner using my thumbs. I press down at the nose, it snaps right in. I'm going to slow that down for you in just a moment. Let's go ahead and flip that over to left and hit start. Now the calipers are going to come down, and just like before, they're going to trace the shape of your frame, but this time the left side to make sure it's large enough to fit. While that is cutting, I'm going to continue to work on your right lens. In fact, let me just test to see how, yeah, let me take a little bit more off of that right quick like, because I got a lot of ground to cover. I'm just going to take a little bit more off of your lens going all the way around. So again, to test if it fits. And Fonnie, this is what you're going to do. I'm just going to let you see your left lens as it touches down onto the cutting wheel. There we go. So in order to pop any of the lenses in, I hold the frame upright where the temple tips are pointed downward. And I'm working on the side closest to me. I'm not trying to reach over the frame. I have the right lens, or I have the right side closest to me. You want to tuck your unbreakable lens in at the corner which is closest to you. Using your thumbs, you always press down at the nose. Come on, go in there, go in there. This one is squirming. And then, there we go. It pops right in. I'm going to take a little bit more off. Now to take them out, you hold the frame downward. It's always with your thumb, it's always at the nose. I place my thumb at the nose. I put my fingers on the other side. Now I'm right-handed, so I hold the frame with my left. I put my other thumb on top and I push down. Let me go around your lens one more time, just to make it easier for a novice to pop these in. To dry everything off. Now again, you tuck it in at the outside corner first. Then using your thumbs, you push down at the nose. Perfect. So, I'm also going to pull that sticker off now. And I'm going to read the prescription of your lens. Let's see, I'm going to spin, actually it's just a 125 sphere, so that is cut perfectly. Test that. Oh yeah, that's going to be easy for you to do. Again, turn the frame upright. Oop, I got a little swarf there to clean off. And then push down. In it goes, always with your thumb at the nose. Now your prescription reads -1 1/4 sphere. Your left eye is -1, -50 at 10. The unit of measurement in the optical field is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, and everything is in quarter increments starting at 0, which is non-prescription, also known as plano. Goes up 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4. So you're on the 5th rung of a ladder. Without your glasses on, things are actually much larger in real life than they appear. So when you put your glasses on, it will minify down to the correct size. Now your prescription in your left eye reads -1, -50 at 10. So you need 4 steps of correction for your left eye. you actually need an additional 2 steps for your astigmatism, and there is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. It comes and goes. It fluctuates. This first number makes everything the correct size. Astigmatism is what makes everything blurry. So 6s and 8s, or the letters P and F look alike. So you need 2 steps there. So it's a combined power of 6 steps. And think of it as the fine-tune knob. And if this were a fine-tune knob from 0 to 180, which is a straight line, we would turn that knob to 10. Now these first 2 numbers are real values. This 10 is just an arbitrary number. It could be 1, it could be 180. It just tells me where to fine-tune everything at. So, let me take your left lens out and see how this fits. I'm going to dry it off again. Real quick, back to the handstone. Wipe all that swarf off the edge of your lens, collect it on the counter, wipe it on the floor. Kids, stay in school. How many times I gotta tell you? So, I'm gonna tuck this in I've rotated the frame around where I have the empty side closest to me. I'm gonna stick the left lens in at the corner. Using my thumbs, press down, snaps in perfectly. Let me test it to take it out. Put my thumb on the nose, grab my fingers on the other side, put my thumb there, push down, it pops out. And again, you're not going to hurt your unbreakable lens, you're not going to hurt your frame. The only time you could cause any damage if you were in 0 or below freezing, plastic gets brittle. As long as you're at room temperature, you will never have a problem with this. But I do ship all over the world, so if there's anyone in Siberia, make sure your frame is warm before you start popping the lenses in and out. So again, I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, use my thumbs. Let me get this block off. That thing's in the way. Take that block off. Now, tuck it in at the outside corner, then using your thumbs, push down at the nose. It snaps in perfectly. I'm going to take that blue sticker off. The axis wheel is still on 10. Put your lens in, and I'm reading -1. And then the 2 steps of correction, we're at -150, which is exactly halfway between 1 and 2. The reason why it's 150, if someone owed you $1, then they borrowed another 50 cents, you would actually they would owe you 150. So your pupillary distance, there's your prescription.